Hey fellas, we are back in small town Wyoming for some early spring fly fishing. Join me as I fish 3 minor tributaries of the Wind River and turn up an 18-inch brown, a monster cutbow, and some fat whitefish. And as always, grab a growler at Land or Bar. This is one of my favorite spots. I've never been skunked in here, and the river is loaded with browns, whitefish, and a stray rainbow. And also the way the water runs up against the canyon walls seems like something straight out of southern Utah and, just a little out of place. I've got about 11 feet of combined leader and tippet to a size 8 golden stonefly nymph with a generic mayfly about 18 inches behind the stonefly. And this brown actually takes that size 8 golden stonefly nymph. One of the reasons I really like that really big attractor nymph is because, especially when I know there's a lot of brown trout, they just get really aggressive with that big nymph. Here, it's one of those things where they say it's better to get lucky than to be good, and I had actually lifted up this cast to recast it because it was at the end of its run, and then me lifting up the rod tip swung the mayfly nymph up towards the surface like an emerger, and this brown trout just hammered the nymph. So I picked up the rod to recast, and all of a sudden the thing was bent over like crazy. And pretty nice little brown trout here. And now we've hooked into the whitefish.
Well, that was some pretty sweet fishing right there. You know, it took me 35 minutes to even get a bite, but when I hooked into that first fish, I was like, oh, this is gonna be for real. I thought it was gonna be a huge whitefish, which I've caught a bunch in there before, but that was a solid basket measured 18-inch brown, which rules. And then got another brown and then another whitefish in there. So we'll see what else this river has, and otherwise might switch spots, might not.
First place I've caught whitefish. Since caught them on the Upper Colorado and on the Eagle. Yeah, there it is. Here I'm on another, this is just more public land here. And, I really worked this little hole quite a while because the water was pretty high and, a little stained. It was before runoff, but it almost seemed like it had kind of started already. So, when I found a piece of water that had, some calmer patches in it, I really stuck with it. Here I'm basically including the entire fight I had with this 17, 18-inch Cuttbow. I did not expect to find a fish this size in this little piece of water. I felt so happy to hook into this fish. I was using pretty light tackle here, and I was having a real hard time turning this fish. I legitimately thought I foul hooked a nice sized fish, but a foul hook nonetheless. I was having that much hard getting this thing into slower water. So basically what I end up having to do here is cross the water on the rocky shoal so that I can get over into that slower water where there's a bunch of rocks that kind of slow everything down. So basically I'm like beaching this thing, you know, kept it in the water, you know, water over most of its gills, but like in hindsight, this is really not how I'd like to land this fish, but you know, desperate times, desperate measures, I guess. This was such a cool find this trip. So this is Woody's Fly Shop and llama purveyor. So they lease out llamas to the Forest Service and people who want to use them to go hike up in the winds for backpacking. And he has so much memorabilia from Finance Mitchell, the guy who stalked the winds with golden trout. It was a real pleasure to go in there, so I felt pretty lucky. Yeah, here I'm heading back to one of my favorite fishing easements in the area. It's not a lot of room, but caught some quality fish in here before. And no trip here is complete without a stop at Taco John's. Iowa, Mexican, Wyoming fusion fare, just like me.
I just set them down. Just napkins for everybody, because we're all.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That gives them a mustache.
I wasn't sure if they were for something specific, like.